Now a little bit about Berntsen. We've been marking the infrastructure of the world for nearly 50 years, and Berntsen's products are used in countries around the world. Surveyors can find just about anything they need on Berntsen.com, including our Rothbucher smart marking products. And we've been representing Rothbucher now for nearly 15 years, and we're so thrilled to have George with us here today. With that, I'll turn the presentation over to George, founder of Rothbucher System.
Today, we want to talk about construction targets and BIM. And when we're talking about BIM, it's getting more and more important. I'm happy to show you products that we do a permanent documentation verification, and very important is that you can protect yourself. So I have seen 25 years ago, I started my own business with construction targets. I have seen that people working with high technology on instrument, but still a lot of problems with benchmarks because they use pencil and nails, and that doesn't fit together with the modern instrument. So one of these targets, so I'm going now to sharing my screen. I want to give you an overview about these things. So you can see here now a part of my targets, what I have developed. And today we want to talk about the first three rules here. So about benchmarks for finish floor level, BIM targets, angle targets, rotating targets, and on the next session, what we're doing next year, next week, we're talking about the Prism system, what I developed, and in 2 weeks we have then drone and scanner targets. So today, the first thing what I want to show you is we want to talking about BIM. So everyone is talking about BIM here in Europe. We use a lot these targets here for BIM because we want to have one target for all trades and one target for all instrument on site. So this is a communication system for all trades. Everyone uses the same heights, the same axis, the same XYZ coordinates. Often we still can see construction, they just use the stickers. In my opinion, yeah, for a survey for 2, 3, 4 days, it's acceptable. But usually at the start on a construction, you don't find a good surface that you can take one reference point from the beginning until the end of the construction and even later. Because if something going wrong, you need a permanent proof that protect you, that you can still show them where was the original measurement point, where was the finished floor level, where was the heights, where was the axis and the XYZ coordinates. So with a small money, you can do a permanent fixed point for BIM, and that's what I wanted to show you now. So here we have a target that you can fix, you can glue it on, you can fix it with a nail or a screw. The most people just glue it on. Then you can write all information, like you can see that here. As an example, here in German language, it's called 1 meter over finished floor level. This is finished floor level. Then we have here the axis and here the position number. Important is all our targets are made on highest quality on synthetic. So that means we guarantee plus minus 80 degrees Celsius. So this is a temperature it's usually not been outside. Otherwise, sometimes we have very hot situation. As an example, when we do a survey next to an iron oven. So you still can use this. What we cannot guarantee is the target reflector itself, but that you be sure that you don't lose your measurement point. Behind our target reflector, you will always find a crosshair. So even when the target reflector fell off or is destroyed, you don't lose your measurement point. You can put a target reflector in accurate the same position again. So now when you are going to use a waterproof pan, or you can also use punch number if you want, you can now put all this information on the target, you glue it on, and now you can see that here we have a protrusion that you can put a ruler on or a level stuff when you are working with a level. You can use, of course, a laser because this is very good visible on the target. You can use a theodolite or you can use a total station. Important is everyone use the same height, the same axis, the same XYZ coordinates. And also in your own team, if someone is getting ill or is going on holiday, when you're going on site and you are working for your colleague, the first what you need is a clear documentation. You need the finish floor level, you need the axis. And when you have these targets on site, there is no discussion. You can start working immediately. And this is very easy handling. These targets are million used around the world. We have this target for about 20 years on the market and standard in a lot of countries. So then we have other targets for longer distances. Because sometimes people, when they are in the offset 0, they don't want to switch they don't want to use prism because they don't want to go out of the offset 0. That's why we offer also target reflector in 20 centimeter size. So that means you can use these targeted up to 400-500 meter. And then if you have maybe a fixed point far away, it doesn't matter. You still have a solution for that. After that, I figure out that we have sometimes problem with angle, especially with target reflectors, but please also with prisms. Very important. Please don't use target reflectors and prisms for more an angle than 30 degrees. That's very important because the accuracy is going down dramatically. If you have problems with the angle, we offer targets. They have already an angle on the target. Here we have one solution. You can use these from almost all direction, but we have 2 points. So usually we use an A and a B number. Here as an example, we use them in an elevator shaft. So you can see now the axis. Because of the axis, you can see here there's a string going through the target. You can see the axis from below, from straight on and from above. And when you use these targets every 3-4 in the elevator shaft in the 3 floors, you have always a view on the axis. That's and the installation of the elevator is so much easier then. Also, these targets are often used for monitoring. When, as an example, if you have a neighbor house like here, these are pictures from New York City, or if you build a bridge and you have to monitor a track, then you can do that outside danger area. The good thing is from one position, you can reach a lot of points because you will not have any angle issues. And you have always a very high accuracy measuring. After all these things, I developed also a swiveling target. Together now with our fixed point, we have 2 kinds of fixed points. The good thing is you glue on one of these fixed point, and now you just click in the target reflector. You can click it in both directions, in 2 directions, and it's always the same measurement point. And also very important is if someone wants to work with robotic, we offer a complete prism system. And if you use the right offset, here is offset 0 with the target reflector. On our prism system, the offset is written. On our biggest prisms, the RSMP 380, the offset is -60.9, and for Leica +17.5. And the one who is using Leica, he knows it's the button for mini prism. And when you put this off and on, the good thing is you just leave the cheap fixed point. You can write here with a waterproof pen the position number, and then you can take your swiveling target, you can take on and off, and you have 2 times 100 degrees direction, and with a very, very high accuracy. Important also is our system here is proved by the University of Munich. We have for the PRISM system also a white paper that shows you that we offer here a system with an accuracy of 0.6 millimeter, including the error of the instrument. And the good thing is also we have gray and red targets. Gray usually we use on neighbor houses, non-visible, and red for the construction. Also, an awesome system to transfer reference points and XYZ coordinates from one floor to the next. Because if you fix this target, as an example, here we have from time to time on a construction, we have a hole or we have the elevator shaft. So you click in a prism or the target reflector and you can measure from down up to the point. Then you going on the next floor, you take off the target, you turn it 90 degrees, and then you have the same XYZ here from left to the right, anywhere where you have your total station, and you can bring it accurate in direction to the total station with high accuracy. The second thing what we offer is that you can combine all our targets. So for this, I stop just shortly now this presentation here, because I want to show you this here. It doesn't matter now. So what I'm showing you now with the prisms, you can also do with this target reflector. Wait a minute, I'm going down like this here. So we have the system here. This is a click system. If you combine it and it clicks, then we have from one point to the next point, we have always 60 millimeter. So that means you can use, if it's good mounted, you can use the same point from 2 directions. And if necessary, you can use this also, you can combine them in this direction. So that means you can now measure from left to the right and you can measure from down. And once again, these are 60 millimeter. So the same, we have a second version. Wait a minute, I'm showing, we are going back to the presentation. We have a second version. This is our magnetic version. Wait a minute, is it this one here? Yes. Here we have a stainless steel washer, but it's a stainless steel washer for magnetic. And when you put this stainless steel washer, you just glue it on a wall. And now, once again, you can take on and off a target reflector, what you can swivel and turn in all directions, 360 degrees. It's always the same point. Once again, also proved by the university with the same accuracy and including the error of the instrument, 0.6 millimeter. And the good thing is, you just as an example, on the neighbor facade, you just leave a non-visible target like this, stainless steel, no rust. And when you put the position number, so your colleague knows what it is, but no one touch it, no one scrap on it. And the prism and or the target reflector, you can always take with you. And not only this, because when we're talking about, I show you more option what you can do with this system here. So the basement is available magnetic and non-magnetic. So then you have the offer as an example. Here we have on the for the what it's called, it's when you start your construction, you have the batter board. And they fixed these targets on the batter board. And now the good thing is you can now turn and swivel your prism or your target exactly on the axis. So on the axis. So that means here some of the surveyors said, now I have a double control, because wherever I move, I'm always with my fixed point accurate on the axis. So they have here made the axis, and they just screw the stainless steel washer, and then they add the prism or the target reflector on it. And then you have all direction your point, your measurement point. This is also a very nice and a very good handling of our targets. Next thing is what I have seen. I can show you also here. We have here the cover of the water drain pipes, and when you just put here the magnetic version, then you can also put your prism or your target reflector in all direction. And so when you have a lot of drain pipes, you cannot go faster for the installation as with this system, because also you can see that here we offer an adapter that you can also take your prism on top if you use a robotic, and then you have space to put the drain pipe in the right direction. And then at the end, you just take the cover, put it on top, and then you bring it in a minute in accurate position. Because of BIM, we have made also this system. So that means we have two fixed points, the RSFPX80 and the RSFPX90. And with this fixed point, it doesn't matter if you use a target reflector, if you use a prism, or if you use a scanner or a drone target. With the right offset, whatever you put on the target or here, it is always accurate, the same measurement point. Accuracy plus minus 1 millimeter. So not only that you now be able to make a clear reference point for all instruments, so not only with levels, so we have solutions for all kind of instrument and for all kind of trades on construction side, or for monitoring of neighbor house, for monitoring for the magnetic version. As an example, they often use, if you have a one side formwork, so you have the magnetic version, you just take it on the formwork, and while concreting, you can control if the formwork is moving or not. There is no easier way, and you don't have to stay on the formwork, and so the people are free to work, and you are outside danger area, and you can do this quite fast and easy. Okay, so this was BIM. For BIM, we have this solution, but in my opinion, for BIM, we also have to talk about especially the finished floor level, and in some cases for the access. So we have here one solution, because the finished floor level is one of the most critical point on the construction side. Everyone needs the finished floor level, and I'm still wondering that people use pencil and nail for the most important point. Why we are using high technology instruments when we still use pencil and nails for the most important point on the construction side. In Europe, we have, in a lot of countries, this is absolute standard. You will not find a construction without these targets. We use them usually in the staircase in each floor, and then one or two in each, let's say, residential. You need about 10 targets, or in a flat, then when we have on each floor one on each staircase, and then from time to time, every second, third room should be one target. The rest you can do with a laser. The good thing is, if you have fixed them once, doesn't matter who is going on site, everyone see the finished floor level. Then you have seen, you will see the benchmarks with the heights, with the XYZ coordinates, and with the axis if you want. But you can see this is a communication system, and if we have any trouble, what is always the first question? Where is finished floor level? Where is the fixed point? Where's the surveyor? And I think the worst thing for you is when people looking in your eyes and they said, but it was your benchmark. Here, we offer a permanent proof for you. And that's also why, as in what you can see here on this, here, everyone, they are going with a color spray on the target. So when once it's fixed, no one can change it anymore without your attention. Because when you're going inside and you see someone take it off, you have immediately, you can have a look if someone is in trouble or not, and you have more control. And then the same in your own team, no one asks you twice. So you can go on holiday and people knows exactly where are all the benchmarks and where is finished floor level. A second version is not always for, but on some construction, it's an awesome solution for the axis. So if you don't use XYZ, or maybe you have some axis or you have installation of facades, then we offer a very specific way to use our data markers. So what we're doing is we fix them horizontal in the slab formwork where the axes are. So then you can see here the nail is concrete height. So this is a little bit higher than concrete height. And then you do the reinforcement. Then the concrete is coming. And the good thing is on the next day, when you have the first time on the new floor, you have the first orientation on your axis already. So this is sometimes when you are on a higher level of a building, you have no orientation. And then this is very helpful because you can start working immediately. And that helps not only for this, because if the slab formwork is going out, you create a negative imprint in the concrete. So we have a permanent also proof where I worked with my axis, what I did, and you can also use this for installation of the facade. If you're working with dry walls, that is our next solution. We use this fixed point even on the new level formwork, and then we fix it with nail wherever we want to have the axis later on. And then you can see as an example here all these targets. And when the formwork is going out, we have all the negatives imprint on the ceiling, and this is awesome for installation of dry walls. So also here you can see all the negative imprints, and no one asks you twice about the axis. So that's what you can see now. It's just small money, and you got clear reference point for finished floor level, for axis, for XYZ coordinates, for any instrument. And so we offer a complete system, what I showed you today. And I'm stopping now this and going back to my, I hope you can see me now. And the only thing what I wanted to show you here is just these small items, what is so important and so easy handling. And also here to say we have here one reference point, one time fixing, write the information, you can hold a ruler, you can do all these things. This should be standard on construction side. And when we're talking about BIM, what else? A Berntsen and a nail for BIM, sorry to say. I think the most important, protect yourself. And if you have any question now, I'm ready for questions. Looking forward.
Hey, George, just wanted to make one quick mention. Deborah did put the white paper for the prisms in the chat. So if anybody wants to download that or refer to that, it's in there. I do have a question here from Chase in reference to the stacking and the combining of the reflector targets. He asks, is there a target recognition or a target differentiation issue when you stack or combine the reflector targets? Meaning, is there a chance of measuring the incorrect prism if not manually sighting through the instrument?
Yeah, the new instrument means the automatic recognition of the target reflector, correct?
Right.
Yeah, I would say I'm very, very, let's say, afraid when people doing that, because I can show you the reason. With the prism, whatever happened, it takes over the center point. You have the offset, center point is sure with ATR. In the target reflector mode, the danger is when you are doing this automatically and the target reflector is going dirty, the center is moving because it doesn't recognize the center anymore. If there is a dirt on the target, if there is any dust on the target, the instrument change the center point. So I would always target reflector. I would only use manual. When this was the, I hope I understood the question correct.
I think so. Chase, we can unmute you if you'd like. Otherwise, yeah, he says, when in doubt, always manually cite. Yes, good advice.
Yeah. So a lot of people are they are using the automatic, but the control is still manual.
Yeah.
I think this is the best what you can do. Oh, there was one thing I forgot to show because I think this is an important thing. Just give me a second. I need a second target here. Once again, it doesn't matter if we use a target reflector. There is one thing what you also what we offer. We have these small adapters here now, and this is almost new, a few months. But sometimes we want to transfer from outside XYZ to the top of the building, and we have shown you this combination here. I have shown you, but we have a new. With this adapter, you have another solution, and that looks like this. So that means you now can measure from down, and from the top you can swivel, and you have once again 60 millimeter, and you can take your measurement point from the top of the building on the new floor. Just for your information, that's also an option. Okay.
So the Q&A and the chat are open now if anybody has any questions they want to ask. One thing that's come up recently here, George, and I'm not sure how much aware you are of it, but we had a large condominium building collapse in Florida recently.
Yes. I heard about, we heard about here also.
Yeah, so in light of this tragedy, you know, I mean, a lot has come about in the news about monitoring cracks and just building monitoring. What sort of what would you use as far as Rothbucher products to monitor cracks?
We already have a lot of prisms in use. Because we have an easy fixing of our prisms, we have a good accuracy. So it depending. So we have here thousands of bridges in Europe are monitored with my system, and we have a lot of facades and buildings monitored. And because we have also in our area, in some areas, there are minings. And when you have mining, you have always problem on the top with the houses or with the buildings, movements, cracks, and all these things. And so important is that we have once more, when we monitor a building, we want to monitor on the top, not on the ground. In the past, we had these bolts, but the bolts are all, first of all, they have an arrow in my opinion already, because it's not straight ahead, and you have to add the level stuff very accurate on that. But my opinion, more important is that we have a 2 or 3 step monitoring. That means first, maybe on a height of, let's say, a little bit higher than you can reach, that no one grabs the prism, and then in the middle of the building, and then important on the top of the building. So the easiest way is just to glue one of these things, and then you use one of the prisms here. You can screw it, because if it's stormy, this wouldn't fall out, or if there is any reason. And then this is, as I told you, temperature and UV resistant. so you can use it for a long time, and the easiest way for the robotic automatic mode, and a good accuracy. So with an accuracy of 0.6 millimeter, you can do a good monitoring job. And so that's what already here, what we're doing a lot since 10 years, 15 years now. We have bridges for almost 20 years. And also important is, if something has happened, even, I don't know, someone destroyed, you don't lose your monitoring job. You just take this off and you can take a new one, but it's the same point again. So all my, I'll give you another example. We have this stainless steel adapter. What we have with with DB15 thread or without, we have both. So here, once again, we have highest technology on synthetic, what you can buy, the crosshair behind the target reflector. But here, even if someone destroys the target, you just put off the fixing and you buy a new angle target and you just click it on and it's the same measurement point again. So that's what we offer for 20 years now. We offer targets, fixed points that you don't lose even when they are destroyed.
So one question James wants to know is, what do you consider to be a long time?
I won the competition in the Netherlands of the Koen Tunnel. Koen Tunnel is one of the most important tunnel in Amsterdam from the motorway. They wanted to have a guarantee of 40 years survey point. And I laughed because 40 years said, I'm sorry to say, but this won because no one gave them a solution for 40 years and no one was able to replace an original measurement point in 2 minutes for about 15 bucks. That's so easy.
Yeah. So do you prefer certain products for short term versus long term for monitoring?
Yeah. For short term, for a 1-2 days, you just take a sticker. But when we're talking about a week, a month, just a few dollars more, and you have a good target, what you can fix, what you can write information, what you have the crosshair behind, or what you can take on and off from a stainless steel washer, and no one see it, no one grab it. So this is usually from the government. As an example, in Ireland, the government now made a test with all the prisms and the glue, and so we've been 4 companies. We sent glue, we sent the prisms for Dublin for the new underground, and they have to monitor all the historic buildings. And you can guess 4 times who won. We won both, so that was awesome. And still that time in Ireland, they're using our prisms. They are happy with them. And we've been the only one who had a white paper for them.
Okay.
But that was not the reason, because they had seen the easier handling and
Sure.
the replays. Always, that's what I say on construction. What on a big construction, a year is nothing. Why I use a sticker for a few, what I can lose? I spend a few dollars more and I have a target what I can use until the end of the construction. That makes sense for me.
Sure.
And that's BIM, and that's BIM.
Yep. So just wanted to touch quick on the glues that you had mentioned. Now I know that here in the United States, I think that there's a shipping issue where we can't get the same kind of glue.
But you have a good glue as well.
But we do have a glue. Do you also ever work with or recommend anything like some self-adhesive tape or anything like that, or?
For indoor, so we have for indoor, as an example, for the finished floor level, but only for the finished floor level, only for indoor. Outdoor, we always use a glue, but indoor we have a safe double-sided tape. So it's a good tape, but it's not magic. So 90% you just glue it on, and then you go with a color spray on it. That's it. And maybe you have to clean a little bit the surface. For indoor, it works when the construction is dry. When it's wet, it's always difficult. But then if it's wet, you can use a glue spray, just a little spray, and then you glue it with a tape. That's it. Works fantastic for more than 20 years. Millions are used around the world, by the way.
Good to point that out. Okay. So I just quickly, James wanted to know, can we download the PowerPoint? So I just wanted to comment and say that we can make the PowerPoint available via email. That would be something we'd have to email out. But this is being recorded. And so you can certainly log back in at any time and view it again if you'd like, or if you wanted to share that with others in your organization, you can do that as well. I don't see any more questions here yet in the Q&A or the chat, but
anyhow, if someone maybe in an hour or two or tomorrow he said, damn, I forgot this question, just send an email. We are happy to help always. Please, please,
absolutely. Please. Yep.
Yeah.
So George, just a quick plug or a quick question here. So what's new? What do you have coming out that's new?
Usually I'm always have something in development. At the moment, I'm happy to say we have almost done our new scanner and drone target, coming up in, let's say, beginning of October. I show you some pictures. By the way, just if someone are working with scanner on site as well, we have also solutions that you can not only combine prisms, we are also combine prisms and drone and prism and scanner target in all directions. And from the last webinars, there I've been asked for a solution for the front. Maybe you remember there was a question from a surveyor, and because of that question, I was going to make a new target, and I have developed a complete target, very easy, very fast, and I was not happy with that because I wanted more. And now I'm happy to say, at the moment, we are producing the form for one of the, in my opinion, good targets for the future. I'll show you. Wait a minute, I just need, I hope I have it here. Wait a minute. So, drums. Well, that's my new target coming up in, can you see it? Wait a minute, I make it a little bit bigger then. So this target, can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah. This target has, so there are similar targets on the market, yeah? But what is not on the, is the background here, this one. Because we will offer, wait a minute, let's see. You can use it from all directions. You can turn it in this direction, you can swivel it. That's important. But important is that we have here 11 magnets in here. We have the option of the stainless steel washer. And together with the stainless steel washer, I can show you something. What's new. Wait a minute, just give me a second. You see the first time a prototype. We have a second version that will be with the ball. One with the target, one with the ball. But on the ground, we have then the option for a stainless steel washer. We have the option for this one will be for the Leica bolt. And so the target, when you have a Leica prism, and the target will have the same tilting height as a Leica prism. And you can put it on a Leica. Then we have a 5/8 thread male and female adapter. And any adapter, what a customer wish, can be done with our system.
Wow.
So you can use it just magnetic, or you can use it on all adapter or screws, whatever you want to have. We can do that for you.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
and this.
exciting.
So at the moment we're producing all the forms. We have 7 forms to produce. So we spend a lot of money now in these 2 things, but people really, everyone I showed. So last week we had a presentation. I showed it the first time, and this is the first time in America that someone see this. And I hopefully it's finished until the interview in September, but I think it will be October because we have now holiday time. That makes a little trouble for me. But this is new, and this is one of my goal at the moment. There's a big focus on that.
And you
Great.
saw it here first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And that was because of the question of one of the surveyors in the last webinars, when you remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if anybody does have questions after the webinar and they want to get in touch with George, all they have to do is email them to email@berntsen.com. And those will come to me and Emily, and we'll forward them on to George.
Yep. And if there are questions where we may not have the answer to, we can always give George. I know just a few weeks ago, we had a customer who had some questions about prisms, and we got George on the line, and we were able to talk through it pretty easily. So
maybe when we're talking at the next webinar is Prism system. Don't forget, this is very important. So we offer also complete Prism system, not only for construction, it's also construction, but especially for monitoring and combination with drone and scanner targets. Everything proved. And I'm looking forward to seeing you then again.